Hi, I'm Marcia Hickey, the Children's Librarian at the Wareham Free Library, and this week I'm going to review for you two books from the 6th grade summer reading list. And the two books I chose are a little bit scary books. Doll Bones and Neil Gaiman's The Graveyard Books. We'll start with The Graveyard Book. First thing you notice, it's got a gold medal on the cover. That means it won the Newbery Award for Best Written Children's Book published that season. And the year was 2009, and I think it's just as spooky now as when I read it back then. As a matter of fact, it was the spookiest children's book I had ever read. Wait till you see the beginning of chapter 1. How nobody came to the graveyard. There was a hand in the darkness, and it held a knife. The knife had a blade of polished black bone, and a blade finer and sharper than any razor. If it sliced you, you might not even know you had been cut, not immediately. The knife had done almost everything it was brought to the house to do, and both the blade and the handle were wet. The thought that this knife had murdered someone, and you find out rather quickly, it murdered a mother, a father, and an older sister. And the murderer was going back up the stairs to get the one last person left in the house, a baby, a toddler, a 2-year-old. But when he came into the house, he didn't want to wake anyone, so he left the front door open, ajar. And the toddler went out of the house, down the street, into a graveyard. There he meets a ghost who takes him in and adopts him, and other creatures in the graveyard. And the story goes on about how he was raised in the graveyard with the ghost and other creatures, and the adventures he has in the graveyard and how he has to avoid. I'm going to tell you the antagonist's name, Jack, because Jack is still after him. It's a really good book if you want to be scared. The second book is by Holly Black, Doll Bones, and it involves 3 friends, 2 girls and a boy, Zach, who are in middle school now. And they've been friends for a long, long time, and they've enjoyed playing fantasy games with dolls. And the special doll is this one, who is an antique doll with a bone china. You've probably never seen a doll like this because they're antiques. And the mother had bought her. Let me read you a passage. You'll see the illustration of the doll. The queen was a bone china doll of a child with straw gold curls and paper white skin. Her eyes were closed, lashes of flaxen fringe against her cheek. She wore a long gown, a thin fabric dotted with something black that might be mold. Zach couldn't remember when exactly they decided that she was the great queen, only like they'd all felt she was watching them, even though her eyes were closed, and that Poppy's sister was terrified of her. Apparently one time Poppy had woken up in the middle of the night and found her sister, with whom she shared a room, sitting upright in bed. "If she gets out of the case, she'll come for us," her sister had said, blank-faced, before slumping back down on her pillow. So ever since that day, they thought the ghost was haunted, the doll was haunted. And they defy sort of the adults, and they go on one last quest, an adventure together involving the queen. And so you have to read it to find out, to see what they do, how they stay friends, and how they grow up. Well, I hope you enjoy one or other of the books. Have a great summer.